Hello, good morning, Junior 5. Today we're going to answer the model exam at the end of your booklet. This is the model answer, okay? There are here some questions which are answer it with cancelled. These questions are cancelled, okay? The questions which are written beside it cancelled, these questions is cancelled. First, model exam number 1. Question 1, complete the following. The heart consists of 4 chambers and 2 sides. 4 chambers which are the 2 atriums and the 2 ventricles. Number 2 is cancelled. Number 3, the body gets rid of excess salts and water only excess salt and water through skin. But if he says excess salt and water and nitrogenous waste, it will be the urinary system. Take care, Junior 5. Number 4, what blood cells carry oxygen to all body cells and carbon dioxide from all the body cells? Of course, the white blood cells. Because the red blood cells, because the white blood cells is responsible for protecting our body from microbes, and we need it today. Number 5 is cancelled. 6 is cancelled. Number 7, the left ventricle pushes the blood through the aorta, which is transport the blood to all the body cells. Number 9. What keeps the temperature of the body constant? Of course, the blood. The oxygenated blood carries what type of gas? Oxygen. While the deoxygenated blood carries carbon dioxide gas. Write the scientific term. The 2 organs which excrete carbon dioxide. Of course, the 2 lungs during exhalation process. It allowed the blood to pass in one direction from atrium to ventricle and not in the opposite direction. It acts as a one-way door. It is the valve. The system that clarifies blood from uric acid, urea, and excess salt and water is the urinary system. B. Put right or wrong. The digestive system consists of 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, and urinary bladder. Of course, wrong. It's the urinary system. Friction is necessary for lighting of matches. Yes. Turn the page. Page 17. Number 5, input right or wrong. Friction force between a rubber ball and the sandy floor is smaller than that between the same ball and the classroom. Of course, wrong. Why? Because as we said that the friction force increases between rough surfaces while it decreases between smooth surfaces. So here the sandy floor is a rough surface while the classroom floor is a smooth surface. Question 3. Choose the correct answer. The right side of the heart contains blood rich in carbon dioxide, or it contains deoxygenated blood. The friction force between your shoes and the floor or the ground prevents slipping down. Number 4, what have more thin wall or what have very thin wall? It's the blood capillaries. It's blood capillaries. Number 6, the veins that carry blood rich in oxygen are, yes, of course, pulmonary veins. Correct. Number A, correct from artery and right veins to be pulmonary veins. Number 7, the presence of water on a floor, on the road. What? The friction force between the car tires and the road. Of course, it decreases the friction force. Number 8, what receives the oxygenated blood from the lung? Yes, it's the left atrium. It's the left atrium, okay? It receives the oxygenated blood through what? Through the pulmonary veins, okay? Number 9, what coagulates blood when the body is wounded? Yes, the blood platelets, which help in the coagulation of blood or formation of blood clots. Aorta is connected to the left ventricle. What happens if the two sides of the heart are not separated from each other? Of course, the blood will mix between the two sides of the heart. We stop pedaling, or you stop pedaling during the movement of the bike. Of course, the bike will start to slow down until it stops. You run for 5 minutes with respect to the heartbeats. What will happen to your heartbeats? It will increase. The number of the heartbeats will increase. Smoking cigarettes. What are the side effects of the smoking cigarettes? Smoking harms the heart and weakens the blood circulation. Okay? Question 4. Give reason. The blood is in a liquid form. Why the blood is in a liquid form? Due to the presence of plasma, which is a yellow fluid. Page 19. A fish has streamlined shape. Why? To reduce the water resistance, to decrease the water resistance. Number 6. If you push a toy car on the floor, it moves for a certain distance till it stops. Why? Due to the presence of friction force. Number 8. Parachutist opens his parachute on landing. Why? We said that this question will answer it in 3 steps. To increase air resistance, by what? By increasing the surface area. So, landing speed decrease. Okay? Don't forget, 3 steps. Sweat has a salty taste. Why the sweat has a salty taste? It consists of what? It consists of excess salt and excess water. Friction force has many disadvantages. As we said before, that the friction rises the temperature between the internal part of the machine. So the machine will be damaged and I will lose my money. So this is the disadvantage of the friction force. Write the function of each of the following. The pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery. It carries the deoxygenated blood from the heart, from the right ventricle to the lung. Okay? The urinary bladder. The urinary bladder stores the urine temporarily until it released outside the body, until the body gets rid of it. Blood platelets, as we said before, that they help in coagulation of blood or formation of blood clots and prevents us from bleeding. Valves in the heart, what is the function of the valves? They allow the blood to pass from the atrium to the ventricle and prevent it from returning back. It acts as a one-way door. White blood cells, they defend the body against microbes. Now, we'll start to answer model exam 2. Question 1, complete. All arteries carry blood rich in oxygen, except what, Junior 5? Except pulmonary artery. The effect of the friction force is in which direction? In the opposite direction of the object's movement. Blood flows inside a network of blood vessels. What are these blood vessels? Arteries, veins, blood capillaries. Arteries, veins, blood capillaries. What is the blood vessel that transfers the blood from the heart to all the body parts? The aorta. The kidney excretes the wastes dissolved in water in the form of urine. While what gets rid of waste in the form of sweat? Skin or the sweat glands. Urine composed of what? Nitrogenous wastes, excess salt, and excess water. Size of heart as size of fist, and kidney has a bean shape. The upper chamber of the heart, the two upper chambers are called atria, but the lower chamber of the heart called ventricle. What is connected to the kidney and carries what to the urinary bladder? The arteries. If you remember the drawing of the urinary bladder, the urinary system, you find that the two ureters connect the kidneys with the urinary bladder. Question number 2, write the scientific term. The fluid produced by the kidneys and contains harmful substance. Urine. The group of organs means the system that clarifies the blood from the wastes and harmful substance. It's the urinary system. The artery that carries blood rich in carbon dioxide. What is this? It's the pulmonary artery. It is the exception of the artery because all arteries carry oxygenated blood, but the pulmonary artery carry the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, or the blood which is a deoxygenated blood. Number 6. A balloon-like sac that receives urine from the ureters is the urinary bladder. A network of thin-walled vessels that connect the arteries, the end of the arteries, with the beginning of the veins around the body cells. This is called the blood capillaries. Number 9, the cells that have no nuclei is the red blood cells. Put right or wrong. The ureter is the main organ in the urinary system? Of course no, it's the kidney. Men urinates more in summer than in winter? No. Why? Because during summer, the man gets rid of the excess salt and water through the skin in the form of sweat due to the high temperature. So he will urinate less. Number 3, the aorta delivers the blood to the lung? No, it delivers the blood to all the body cells. Keeping the urine and delaying getting rid of it benefit the urinary bladder? Of course, no, it harms the urinary system. Choose the correct answer. When the surface area of the moving object increases, the friction force increases because there is a direct relationship between the surface area and the friction force. Number 3, the rate of your heartbeats. What? When you are running for a long distance, of course, it will increase. Why? To obtain more energy. Okay? Number 4, what is the blood component that keeps the blood in its liquid form? Plasma. The food which the body can't digest and store it in the large intestine is called the solid wastes. A blood vessel which carries oxygen is pulmonary vein. And as you know that it is the exception also of the veins, because all veins carries the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide, while the pulmonary veins carry the blood which is rich in oxygen. Number 7, what carry oxygen and carbon dioxide? Yes, it's the red blood cells. Fish or dolphin have streamlined shapes to reduce the water resistance or to decrease the water resistance. Number 9, what carry clean blood after it filters or after its filtration by kidneys to the heart and then to all the body parts? It's the veins. Cross out the odd word. You have here carbon dioxide, urine, oxygen, and sweat. All of these words are wastes except oxygen. What happens if a swimmer swims in water with a very high speed? Of course, the water resistance will increase. Why? Because there is a direct relationship between the water resistance and the speed. Eating food contains a lot of salt. It will harm your urinary system. There is no valve in the heart cavity. Of course, the heart can return back to the ventricle because the valve is a one-way door which allows the blood to pass from the atrium to the ventricle and never return back again. Number 4, there is no wall between the two sides of the heart. The blood will mix between both sides of the heart. Give reason 4. The lungs are considered one of the excretory organs. Why? Because through the lung, the body gets rid of carbon dioxide. So we can give reason 4. The lungs are considered one of the excretory organs. Why? Because the body gets rid of carbon dioxide through the lungs. So we respect it, or we can consider it as one of the excretory organs. Quick healing of wounds. This is due to the presence of blood platelets. Blood capillaries have thin wall. Why? To allow blood to deliver digested food and oxygen to all the body cells and carry out waste from all the body cells to special organ to get rid of it. Label the following figure. Number 1, pulmonary artery. Number 2, aorta. Number 3, right atrium. Number 4, vena cava, or superior and inferior vena cava. Number 5, pulmonary veins. Number 6, left atrium. Number 7, right ventricle. Number 8, valve. Number 9, left ventricle. Now, we're going to answer the last model exam, which is the model exam 3. Question 1, complete. When the right ventricle contracts, it pumps the blood to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Don't confuse between to and through. To the lungs and through the pulmonary artery. There is a valve between the atrium and the ventricle. The heart is a muscular, hollow organ, about your fist in size. Number 5, pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, while pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood, or the blood which is carrying oxygen. Number 6, blood enters the kidneys through artery and leaves them through vein that carry blood to the heart. Number 7, the urinary system is located inside the abdominal cavity near the backbone. What are the chambers of the heart that receive blood from veins? The atria. Okay? The atria is the plural of atrium. Number 9. The rise in temperature of the moving parts of machine is due to the friction force. Correct the underlined words. Carbon dioxide is produced from breaking down of protein. Of course, no, it is the nitrogenous wastes. The urinary bladder allows the urine to pass outside the body. No, it's the aorta. The left ventricles of the heart pumps the blood to all the body cells. White blood cells is the blood component which transfers the digested food? No, it's the plasma. Question 2. Look at the opposite figure. What is the name of this system? This system is the urinary system. Label the figure. Number 1 is the kidney. Number 2 is the ureter. Number 3 is the urinary bladder. And the importance of organ number 3 is that stores urine temporally until it releases outside the body. Correct it. Until it released outside the body. Choose the correct answer. Solid wastes are stored in the large intestine. What transports blood contains harmful nitrogenous waste to the kidney? It's an artery. Number 3, blood vessels which carry blood from the heart are the artery. Number 4, the relation between the air resistance and the surface area of a body moving through is direct relation. Why? Because by increasing the surface area of the body moving in the air resistance will increase, and vice versa. Number 5, when you rub your hands together, what arises between them? The friction force. Give reason for each of the following. Damage of the internal parts of the machine. This is the disadvantage of the friction force. So, this is due to the presence of friction force. The circulatory system is very important. Here in this question, I will say all the importance or all the function of the circulatory system, which are it transports digested food and oxygen to all the body cells. It transports waste and carbon dioxide from all the body cells to special organ. Why? To get rid of it. Number 3, it helps in maintaining your body healthy. Men urinate less in summer than in winter because secreting sweat increases in summer due to the high temperature. Write the scientific term. The small bodies that play a role in blood coagulation when the body is wounded. It's the blood platelet. The force that is essential to light a match. It's the friction force. The undigested food that is stored in the large intestine. It's the solid wastes. Cross the odd word. Number 2, ureters, skin, urinary bladder, urethra. All of these are organs in the urinary system except the skin. Put right or wrong. Red blood cells defend the body against microbes? No, it's the white blood cell. The air resistance decreases when the car moves so fast? No, when the car is moving slowly. Or the air resistance increases when the car moves so fast, because there is a direct relationship. Solid wastes are stored temporarily in the urinary bladder? No, the solid waste is stored in the large intestine, or the urine is stored temporarily in the urinary bladder. By that, we end the answering of your model exam. I hope you understood it well. Thank you, Junior 5. Study hard.